Bonjour à toutes et bonjour à tous, c'est déjà fait notre pour une vidéo un peu spéciale, car vous l'avez compris, elle est un peu différente que d'habitude, car il s'agit d'une interview d'une actrice irlando-espagnole appelée Anarosa Eizaguirre Butler, qui est donc actrice dans Contradiction, des rôle vidéo murder mystery. Il s'agit d'Emma Bowman. Donc cette interview a été faite en anglais. Toutefois, grâce à mon ami et subber, le baron de Spirel, elle a été traduite en français. Donc vous avez les sous-titres français en bas de l'écran, avec moi sur un côté et Anna Rosa en plein écran. Donc j'espère que cette vidéo vous plaira. Et on se retrouve juste après pour une petite finale, enfin une petite vision de tout ce qui s'est passé.
Now, hello everybody, it's TGF, and I'm not alone. I'm with Anarosa de Butler. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it
Very
right.
good. That was very well pronounced.
So
Merci.
so it is Emma Bowman in Contradiction, the old video murder mystery, the game I played on my channel, and she was really happy to see the fan reaction. The fan reaction about the game first, and about some people wanted to interview her in videos for seeing what she thinks about it. and
Cool. Exactly.
and as I said before the recording, I saw Contradiction on Jesse Cox's channel with his let's play of this game, which was very interesting. And I was saying to myself, why not do a French sub of this? And I began the Contradiction series, and it was really amazing. It's maybe for me personally, it's maybe one of the best game of 2015.
Oh wow.
And
Thank
that's
you very
saying a
much.
lot, because I did play a lot of games, and I was saying to myself, it's something that is missing now for me in games, because I'm a fan of mystery games like the Ace Attorney series, the Layton series I'm planning to do on my channel. And I was saying to myself, why did this game doesn't have much credit, That's something I was
It's a
saying to
funny
myself.
thing. Yeah, it's just I suppose the gaming market out there it's so varied, and there are so many things to pick and choose from. And also, if as a team you don't have the budget for promotion, and for really putting it out there, then I think we're already at a disadvantage for that. So I think the fact that Contradiction it's still getting such a good response, I think is amazing, and I think it's just a testament to a very good game. And it's great that people still want to interview the character, like the actors who play the parts. And I think everyone likes a murder mystery. Everybody likes to be in the position of a detective, and I think in that sense, Contradiction stands out from the rest, because there aren't that many games that I know of. Maybe somebody can tell me otherwise, that are out there. So I think that's why it's picked up as much popularity, even though the promotion of it hasn't been as extensive as we would have liked, because obviously everything revolves around money, as you know yourself.
Yeah,
So
the money is very important in the video game market, and
exactly.
and exactly that's something I wanted to know. And I think that the Michael Titan was the first you interviewed you doesn't say that. But are you a gamer yourself? Because that's something I wanted to know. Because you play in a game, and you say you play in a game, and you act in the game, and there is something I wanted to know, if you know what video games are. I don't know.
Do I know what video? Yeah, I mean, I used to have a history of playing video games, but that really stopped at about 1998 with the first PlayStation. I then,
Oh,
yeah, no,
that's
I
good.
followed gaming since the NES, from the days of the very basic Mario Brothers and Tetris and Game Gears and things like that. I was in a previous life, when I was a lot younger, I was a gamer, and I do like games, and I'm also very competitive. But on after Tomb Raider and Lara Croft, then my attentions went other in a different direction. But every now and again, if I have a friend who's playing, if I come across somebody who's playing on anything really, I'll take part. But I wouldn't be a gamer myself anymore. I'm a former
You're
gamer.
you're casual, so you can say you're casual because
Very
you're
casual.
doing sign of okay, it's a game. So if you see someone play a game, we say, oh, what it is? Oh, yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I know. I saw people like that. It's a good seeing to see someone that doesn't know any video games. Let's see. Oh, okay. I see that. It's a game I played before. It's interesting, and this is something
Of course.
I wanted to know because this is something that baffled me because for me, MVV games were very popular in the 90s, wherein there's a lot of games that plays with I think of a tree Sega Genesis game with FMV in there,
Okay.
and all the games like there is a game was called Fort Boyard the game, which is about a French show which is called Fort Boyard, and it's kind of nothing to do with the TV show, and it's very strange like game, and and this is the
Is it
thing.
not very good? Is it a little bit bad?
Not
Or is
not
it-
bad. It's different. It's different. It's a good game. It's different.
There's a
It's
but in
different.
there somewhere. Okay, so different can be good. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And this is the thing because now we gotta see a revival of FMV games like Contradiction, the old video murder mystery, Our Story, which is also a good game, and
Okay.
and Tesla Effect, which is a different game but interesting in the kind of way. But there is a lot of games like that are coming back, and I don't know why because it's different. It's different at this core because it's not the same kind of. You can't do for me an MVV game about action games.
Yeah.
It's not that. It's impossible, And
Yeah.
that's the thing.
I think personally it's a generational thing. I think all the young kids today are. I mean, in my classroom, I have young teenage boys, and the only two names that I keep hearing are Black Ops 3 and Call of Duty. That's it.
This is the same game.
Right.
This
Black
is the
Ops
same game. Black Ops 3 is a sequel. It's a
Whatever.
sequel to Call of Duty.
So I think what it is that people, I think maybe there's been we're overexposed to amazing graphics and a fake world that tries to replicate a real world. And I think once a gamer might be jaded by such a thing, so when a cinematic approach to a video game comes along, I think that's why there's this renaissance then of FMV games. I think that's why people want to see them back again, because gaming, the art of gaming itself is exciting. The fact that you're in this world that is not your own, yet there are all these rules you have to adhere to, and there's this element of role play. It's amazing, and it's developed, and it's fantastic to see. But just from my own perspective, I think the fact that it's cinematic, you're in your own film, I think that's what people want to see. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with watching good acting, I'm not talking about myself, but with the rest of my castmates, there's fantastic acting, and it's all within a video game. And I think that's almost like the secret ingredient as well. So that's why I think as well, because you don't have that personal connection with a cartoon or with an animated
it's different,
human.
It's different.
It is. It's a different level, and it's a different way of connecting. And I think that's why it is. People want to see real people and not 3D images. And I think it's nice that even within this graphic exposed world, we still want to see what humans look like as opposed to avatars.
We stay with that. So, where were we? We're about the game, and that is MVV games. And there is also things that I learned with a video from Gemini's Dog Game, which is a little gamer game thing in YouTube that do low budget games. That means low budget. That means minus the $10 mark on Skype. Not on Steam, you know, $10 mark on Steam, and he did a video about Contradiction, the old video murder mystery, and he was saying that it was also one of his favorite games in 2015, and he said that there is an actor in the game, which is Paul Darrow, who played in the BBC special, was called, I don't know exactly, I don't remember. Blade 7.
Blade 7. Yeah, Blade 7. Yeah. So he has like a cult following. So that was amazing to get the star, Paul Darrow, involved. And unfortunately, I wasn't on set with him, but he played a sterling performance alongside John Guyler, who plays Ryan Rand as well, who's a friend of mine in real life. And we were all very excited to get Paul on board. And according to what all my friends said on set, that he was lovely to work with, and he was so charming. And I think especially Inspector Jenks, Rupert Booth, and John Guyler were huge fans themselves of Paul Darrow, so they got to live some childhood dreams by acting alongside him. So that was very exciting. So I'm very happy for them as well. There were two happy boys on. Yeah,
because we see it. It is well played for all the actors. Maybe one or two that are off a little because there is not much things that's said about him, like the one who is drunk. We don't see something about it. It's something that maybe I'll say okay, but it adds to the story, and all the actors, you included, were for me a part in which I love the game, because there is a kind of immersion that you have with this game that you don't have with other games, and maybe it is the FMV styles, maybe in the acting of all the person that worked into the game. But there is something that I loved about this game. It is the fact that I can see from the ending, even if we can say spoilers right now, from the ending, that is not ending at all. It's not ending at all. It's kind of, there is a lot of things that are off, and you say, oh my god, and you can go to the sequel, and I got to myself, oh my god, I want this, because this is a game that deserves a sequel for me, and let's see.
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, I think that's it. That the reaction up to now has been people do want a sequel. The fans really want a sequel. Obviously, the cast would love a sequel as well. I think what Tim has done, Tim Follen, the developer of the game, his brainchild, his passion project has been Contradiction. It's been, and he's been involved with this project for a number of years. It had various, I suppose it took on various forms. It was going to be in audio first, and then it developed and constantly developed into what we now know as the video game. Whether there's going to be a sequel, I don't know. I know for now there isn't anything in the pipeline. He hasn't said that he will do one, but at the same time, never say never. He's a busy man, Tim. So therefore, I'd say the thought of having to do another Contradiction game is probably a very daunting task for him. But maybe in a couple of months' time, something will happen. Who knows? I think it would be cool to do one, but obviously we all respect Tim's wishes with that. So, and also if the fans want to tweet and tweets and kind of make their voices heard through that would be fantastic as well.
I was saying about the actors in Contradiction. That was very, very interesting, because all the actors you included were very, very good at the game. Especially for me, Inspector Jenks. Paul Darrow as Paul Rand, Ryan Rand, and you, because Sion it's different, because it's we don't see everything, it's shady, so it's different. But for me, you're in the top 4 of the best actors in the game, because you deserve it. You deserve it because you make me feel something. Which is, Now, yeah, no
What
joke.
would make you feel?
No joke. When I do follow for the game, so if you don't want to see it, it will be spoilery. So that and there is the fact that you said, "Oh, I provoked Liam's death," and you were
Oh,
literally crying, and I was saying to myself, "No, don't cry. You don't have to cry. It's not that. You know, it's." I was thinking to myself, no, you don't have to cry. It's, you know,
cool. Thank you.
because
Now we're
because it's
again.
not your fault, you know. It's
But
those
Emma,
guys.
still though, Emma felt very guilty about that, so that's why she was crying. But no, that was a great scene to play. I really enjoyed it as an actor. It was very challenging, and that's why I was. I forgot halfway through that I was in a video game because of the cinematic approach and the fact that we were, for us, we were shooting a film. It wasn't. It didn't feel. It didn't feel strange or something that wasn't right. It felt like we were shooting a film. So I'm glad Emma provoked something within you as well. So that's good.
Yeah,
At least I did my job as an actor.
yeah, because you're an actor, you're also a teacher, I think. You said this.
I am a teacher.
So
I
you're a
am
teacher
a
in
teacher.
English. That's that.
Yeah, I teach English as one of my many jobs. Yes.
Yeah,
Oui.
and maybe someone in your work environment did play Contradiction. Does they know about this game or not?
I've told my colleagues, and in fact I've told some of my students, the ones that all play Black Ops 3, they don't care. I said to them, I'm in the video game, and they looked at me as if they didn't believe me, in a very distrusting way. And then I told them again. And then I played some of the trailer, and again, this goes back to my previous point that I do think it's a generational thing. They don't care about acting and cinema and being in a film. They just want to shoot people.
Yeah.
So they don't care. They don't care at all. And my friends, yeah, and then my friends and my buddies are like, "Oh, cool." They actually give me some sort of response, which is nice, even if it's fake. But they're more polite in when I tell them that I'm in a video game. They make me feel a little bit better. Ooh. So that's okay.
So yeah, because
So yeah, nobody cares that I'm in the video game here in Barcelona. It's yeah, whatever.
yeah, because that's different because you know I did play myself. It's an acting story. I did play on a web series called Vile 2 years ago. It was different, but myself, I was saying to myself, "Oh, it's interesting. That's something I never played before because I do voice acting myself on my Let's Plays because I'm doing the Phoenix Wright series, and Phoenix Wright series is also a lot of characters. And when you say a lot of characters, you can do all the voices you can do, and this is something I do myself. And I was saying to myself, it's different from that because there is, for me, two things different because voice acting in the game and being in the game physically, that's not the same thing, I think, in the same way. For me,
Yeah,
as
they're
I
two
see
different
myself.
parts. Well, they both have voice acting, which I do as well myself, and acting within whether it's on in theater or in the film. They both have different sets of rules that you have to adhere to and that you have to follow. So voice acting is like what you said. You're hiding behind the mask of the character that's animated. So you can take more risks, but you have to work in a different way as opposed to this is what you're seeing, this is me, I'm acting, but this is, I can't escape the fact that this is me being the character. So yeah, it's interesting, and that's why people get really confused when I say to them I'm in a video game, because they think I'm talking about someone's turned me into a pixelated character and that Lara Croft something. I wish. Ooh, the computer's going crazy.
Oh.
But when I say to them, we shoot the film, then they're like, what? How do you do a video game as a film? Buy the game and you will see. They don't buy the game. They just check it out on YouTube.
Yeah, because there is some people that did play this game like me, like Jesse Cox, and like I said, it's Jesse Cox that make me say, oh, it's a good game, and see that, and I'm happy to play that. I'm happy to have played that because this is a game for me that maybe is changing some of the things we think about video games. Because before, when there was FMV games in the 90s, there was no HGTV, there was nothing like that. It was just SD and maybe even more, it was quality of pixelated. So it's not the same way to see things now. And which HD, that's something I don't understand. Because with HD cameras and all the things like that, you can do a lot more of FMV games, which is good because when you see Her Story, which is another game that was released this year about, I don't know if you heard of it.
I'm not familiar with it. No.
It's a game about someone who said about a murder, and you have to believe to resolve the mystery. But it's kind of different because it is in a game. It is in the program, so you have all the testimonies of all the people. So it's different. It's only one person, so it's different kind of way. But it's something that, for me, I think that a lot of people are waiting to see mysteries that are more cinematic than pixelated. That's the thing.
I think people like to use their brains. People like to be challenged, and there's nothing better than a good old-fashioned murder mystery, and you have to figure it out, and you have to engage. Even though it's via a game, you still have to engage with all the characters, and it's down to you to be clever and figure it out, as opposed to just being a soldier shooting lots of people.
Yeah,
it's not really that exciting or challenging.
I think that all games are equal, but for me, I'm a fan of mystery games. Though, so when I see that, I was saying, oh, it's something that could be interesting for me, and
yeah,
I didn't get the point because, as you said, I think that you are a friend with Rupert Booth. We play Jenks in Contradiction, so it's different for him. I think. Because it is the main character, so maybe a lot of people remembers him more.
Rupert Booth, aka Inspector Jenks, he's the star. Like, Contradiction has the outline of his hat. It's all about the inspector, and so he was the surprise star, really, because obviously we have. Paul and John are amazing, but people fell in love with the inspector, and I'm very happy about that.
It's the main character, it's you don't have to be, it's a main character. So when you have a main character, you attach to him. It's normal in a video game. It's normal,
I don't know. I would have to disagree, only because I think Rupert did such an amazing job. Because the inspector could just be a second. The inspector really, on paper, just goes and asks questions. But Rupert gave it such a heightened persona, if you will.
Yeah. In some of his questions, it was really shown. Like the time I remember the times that he plays with the mask and say, "What do you think about this?" And in the mask, and he goes to the mask and say, "Okay." So,
it's hilarious. Oh yeah, I mean, I bought the game, and Rupert and I played the game, and we actually got stuck. We couldn't pass a certain level. Oh yeah, this is how good the game is. That even I couldn't finish it. It's still on my iPad. I got really frustrated. So, but
I can help you if you would.
Rupert. Pardon?
I can help you.
I'll just go to YouTube. fair. But Rupert and I did watch some of the footage, and you know, we can have a laugh about it, and he's a very good spirited, because even he himself can point out the heightened aspects of certain questions and the funny reactions that he and I had. So yeah, it's very good in a lot of places. Yeah.
So that's something that very, very interesting, because I see also the one who plays Rand, the old Rands, Paul Darrow and Ryan
Yeah,
Rand. I don't
and
know, John Gaylor, and I was thinking to myself, oh, it's interesting because he is also with his, glass of, I don't know if it's whiskey, I don't know what it is, but when you see us, there is certain answer that comes to mind when you say yes, and the whiskey goes all over the place, and it was, I was saying, why you're not happy to go with the
dramatic effect. Just to make it dramatic, I guess,
Yeah,
with the whiskey,
but-
or it's probably apple juice on the day, or some cold tea, which is what we do in the industry when we're pretending to drink whiskey.
So that was iced tea.
Well, no, it's not. It wouldn't be iced tea. It would be tea that has gone cold and has
Oh, I
probably
see.
been out for a while. It's not delicious. I wouldn't recommend it. And sometimes you might go for apple juice. I think there might have been apple juice on the set, and maybe ginger ale if there's a budget. But I think we had cold tea on the day,
So
or the whiskey.
I see.
Yeah.
I see that. Well, that's something that,
Secret for you there.
that's something that baffles me also, because I do think that the game was crowdfunded by Kickstarter, and it was a little, it was maybe 5,000, maybe in the budget.
I am not sure what the final figures were, but I know it was around that area. Yeah, it was a crowd funded by Kickstarter, and yeah, what Tim has produced on a very little budget, I think, is fantastic, especially the art.
That's that, because it's maybe a little budget game in in the kind of way that some games are going to be million, 2 millions, I don't know, maybe a lot more, but this one goes maybe £5,000, and well, it maybe €7,000 for people that plays in Europe. So
Yeah.
£5,000.
Of course, yeah.
It's pounds, so in Great Britain. So for those people who don't know, but there is something that's interesting, because you see that in maybe £5,000 you can do an amazing game, and this is maybe something that independent gamers wanted, because a low budget game in maybe the odd sense about £5,000, the little budget, and the little budget for me are very good games, because you see what they can do with maybe a little more money, because that's it something. I wanted more money. If a sequel is coming, I hope for myself, but when it will be coming, I think that's gonna be more founding, because it deserves it. For me, it's again who deserves it. So
Cool.
so that's for me.
That's cool. Those are lovely words. Cool. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, I mean, it just goes to show that if you surround yourself by talented people, and you have a solid, strong team, money is important, of course, but within the arts, especially, is always an issue, and I include gaming, because gaming is part of the design and the artistry of games in themselves. But it just goes to show that if you have a solid, strong team, good acting, a great director, a great director of photography, and just a lot of willpower, then that translates into whether it's a fantastic video game or a fantastic film, which I believe Contradiction has broken a few barriers in the fact it's meshed those two worlds in a very positive way.
Yeah, because I think that's also a good thing, because I see that you're an actor in Barcelona. You're doing what in Barcelona exactly? Also about teaching and
What am
not
I
doing
doing?
like that.
I'm going to the beach like I was a few hours ago. No, I'm an English teacher now, and I've also got. I signed to an agent just over a week ago. So I'm going to start going to castings and hopefully get work over here, because I being half Spanish, I'm bilingual as well. So hopefully I'll get
So
some more work,
wait, you
and also working on other projects as
uh,
well.
you're in other projects. That's which project of gaming of all things?
No, not gaming actually. I'm working on a feature film with Rupert. Actually, it's his passion project, and it's called Protoverse. So therefore, that's in pre-production at the moment. We also plan on Rupert and I. We want to start actually. We want to create our own show as well. So stay tuned for that.
On
And
YouTube?
I also well, we're going to just. Oh, this thing keeps going on me. Yeah, hopefully we're going to use YouTube as our platform to launch and experiment with a few things, and also I write as well. So therefore, I've been collaborating with Rupert, he was pretty much my writing mentor. He's an author himself, and obviously he's a script writer, and I've learned a lot from him. So that's what I'm involved at the moment. Apart from teaching, I'm writing and thinking up of various concepts for other projects that I myself want to get involved in.
So, that's interesting because for me, I mean
Yeah.
that's something I don't know because for me that was the thing about contradiction myself. I was saying to myself, oh, she can do with. I wanted to see what people done before or after that because for me, all the actors deserve the praise,
Yeah.
and I think that I will be following what you will be doing after that because I do think that
Thank you.
it is interesting, and even if I'm not
Great.
even if I'm not English, because you see myself, you know that you see that it's not my main language, you know, with the hesitation I
English is
have
awesome.
and things like that.
English is brilliant. English is brilliant. Don't you worry. So
Oh,
that's not an issue. No, it's a good thing about things like this is that once they start breaking boundaries on a linguistic level, once people from other countries, and I've also had some very good feedback from Spanish fans actually as well, which has been lovely. It's great, you know, and I think once the barrier of language not being one's main mother tongue is not an issue, then I think that's when the job has been done properly. And it's lovely, and it's great to have so much support. And yeah, I remember saying, Rupert and I were talking about this not so long ago, that we're very overwhelmed by the positive reaction. And yes, of course, not everybody loves contradiction, and that's fine. And, you know, constructive criticism is fantastic. You know, how would we better ourselves if we didn't work on our weaknesses? But the fact that the overall turnout has been in praise, yeah, it's lovely, and we really do appreciate that. So it makes us feel good. It's lovely.
yeah. I think that's something that for me it's important in a game because in a game and even in real life because when you have something that could be interesting in maybe because I'm watching Japanese shows and I was saying to myself it is interesting to see how the people react to that and when I say
Yeah.
there is something that maybe a lot of people doesn't know but when you have a good video game, a good video game, a good film or anything like that, it just believes on the actors because when you don't have the French version and all the French version are bad, yeah, the bad of bad,
Yeah.
and you see the sub version in French and you see it's great and maybe I want to play myself and I think that's maybe why that's one of the reason why I wanted to do this let's play of Contradiction and subbing into French because I think that a lot of people saying to me on the YouTube comments from these videos and they say oh it's
Yeah.
interesting to see what it is made but this is something that maybe if I convince someone to play Contradictions contradiction. That is my I'm humble
Your
for that.
mission. That's
And
your main aim. Fantastic. Your mission has been accomplished then if you can get someone to play Contradiction.
yeah,
In France. By a French speaker. No, I actually, all joking aside, Rupert and I were really impressed because I was over in London 2 weeks ago, so that's why I was hanging out with Rupert. It was great, and you made contact with me actually, and we were very impressed by the fact that you took time out of your own personal life to go and subtitle Contradiction in French. So on behalf of the Contradiction family, we want to say merci beaucoup for that. Yeah, it was really cool. So thank you.
thanks.
I don't know
Thanks.
how much. I don't know how. You were very impressed because Rupert was looking at me, and I said to Rupert, I said, "This person has gone out of their way." Has taken time out of their lives, which I'm sure are very, eclectic and busy and crazy.
Yeah, it's busy right now. It's very busy
to
right
sit
now.
down and listen to us. Just listen to us and having to translate what we're saying into French. So, yeah, bravo. Well done.
Yeah, that's something I wanted to do because I think that people deserve the praise on some games, and I think that maybe I've done something that a lot of people is doing now because I saw other game that is going to be subbed in French also. So that means myself, I'd say,
Awesome.
I may be doing something that maybe a lot of people would say, oh, it's interesting to say and to do. And I'm not even, mad about that because I wanted to do, to know, I wanted to, I don't share the game.
Yeah.
That was my primary goal, and this is why I wanted to do an interview with you because I think
Cool.
that if we see the actress or the actor in the real life, so in real life, and except outside of the game, you can say why why they do that, why they come to play on the video game, and this is something that is interesting because I do think really. I think I will be closing right now. I think we'll be closing right about now. So to retrospect, I was saying myself that maybe Contradiction deserve the praise. I deserve the praise all that much, but I'm waiting for the sequel, and I don't know if people in France can say, "Oh, I do want the Contradiction sequel as well," because I do think that it is meritant. It's something that maybe a lot of people are waiting for. Jesse Cox has said it. I said it himself, myself also. I want it. I will find it if it's on Kickstarter or anything like that. And I do think,
Fantastic.
and I do think that a lot of things are in ways. I think even if it will be, I think it will be taking time if a sequel comes to light. But if a sequel comes to light, it will be a good, maybe biology, something that duology, something that could be 1 and 2. And
Yeah.
I think that the second thing will be higher priced and maybe a little more, not anymore, a little more, more things, more things. That's what I'm waiting for the sequel.
Well, all I could say is just the people of France, okay, go out and buy the game and show your support. No, look, if it happens, it happens, and if it doesn't happen, well, look, at least there was such a reaction around it that caused people provoked this sense of hunger for a sequel. That's lovely as well. That's great for us. But I'm afraid whether there's a sequel, I really can't say. I think all I can say is no for now, and c'est la vie. I don't know what's going to happen.
C'est la
What's
vie.
going to happen?
It's a great way to finish it. C'est la
la
vie.
vie.
It's French. It's French. That's very good.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I will be closing here. So thanks, Anarosa, for coming here. It was very difficult. It was very difficult to find it, to set up, It was very difficult with my connection and all the things like that. I think it will be coming okay. I will do something if it's not, but we'll see. Follow her on
It's fine.
Twitter. Follow her on Twitter.
Yeah.
Anarosa Seisa. It's that. Anarosa Seisa.
That's correct, yeah.
So you can follow her on Twitter
Anarosa.
and follow what she will be coming in the future. You can also follow our class leaders for the contradictions, for the
That's correct.
Tim Allen, I think.
Just to keep us, so I'm at Anarosa Isa, that's at ANAROSAEIZA. Also Atlas Leaders FMV as well, you can follow us there. Rupert Booth, Inspector Jenks, you can just follow him at Rupert Booth as well, and you'll also be able to find me on Instagram. So yeah, just kind of check in, send us a tweet, say hello. We don't bite, we say hello back. It's all cool, it's all lovely. Always happy to make new friends.
Et donc, nous voici après cette vidéo, cette interview. J'espère qu'elle vous a plu. Je tiens à remercier encore une fois Anarosa des Eizaguirre Butler pour sa gentillesse, pour avoir fait cette interview de 40 minutes que j'ai adoré faire avec elle. J'espère vraiment que ces projets arriveront à bout. Donc, franchement, une personne vraiment sympa à discuter avec. J'ai hâte de rediscuter avec elle qu'emploi. Mais j'ai adoré discuter avec elle. J'espère vraiment que ça s'est senti dans l'interview. L'interview, du coup, c'est-à-dire que ça se termine, du coup, là, ça termine officiellement avec cette vidéo. Contradiction de Whole Video Murder Mystery, puisque ce sera dans la playlist du Let's Play. Mais ce sera un peu à part, du coup. Du coup, donc c'est la fin de cette aventure que j'ai adoré faire aussi, que j'ai adoré jouer, qui est pour moi un des meilleurs jeux de 2015, qui est pour moi un des meilleurs jeux que j'ai jamais joué depuis des années. Et franchement, ça vaut vraiment le coup d'aller le voir. Ça vaut 9,99€ sur Steam. Vous pouvez l'acheter, ça vaut le coup. Il faut que ce jeu ait une suite. Il faut qu'on ait le maximum pour avoir une suite. Pour l'instant, c'est non, comme a dit Anarosa, mais on ne sait pas ce qui peut nous arriver. Donc franchement, allez voir ce jeu, 9,99€ sur Steam. Allez-y. Et voilà. Donc, je rappelle, vous pouvez suivre Anarosa sur Anarosa EAZA. Vous pouvez suivre Rupert Booth sur Rupert Booth. Vous pouvez suivre l'équipe de Contradiction sur Aclass Leaders. Et enfin, vous pouvez suivre le Baron de Spiral sur Twitter, sur le Baron de Spiral et sur sa chaîne, ainsi que sur ma chaîne. Vous pouvez vous abonner en bas de la vidéo et me suivre sur AlexiTGF sur Twitter. Allez, sur ce, j'espère que cette vidéo vous aura plu. On se retrouve bientôt pour la suite de nos aventures. C'était TGF, stay tuned for more. Whatever is with me.